All right, what's going on, guys? This is Young Lee Jr. So you have Andrew Tate, who was one of this, I guess, this big ex social media star. He's been banned on one of these platforms, big social media platforms like Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and I mean, Andrew Tate, man, he was a former kickboxer, and people believe that he's actually contributing to toxic masculinity, to a corrupt generation. Got a lot of Generation Z kids looking up to him, especially with these smartphones. And I'm not gonna lie, I haven't even really heard of Andrew Tate, man, because until I was on TikTok and how the algorithms were, they posted so many videos of him. Shout out to my boy Corey. He said he likes Andrew Tate. He's been following him for a long time, especially with the real pill content. And they say he has misogynistic views. I mean, berating women. But I want to just talk about this, right? So he first came into public attention back in 2016 when he appeared on Channel 5. I know you guys were familiar with this show called Big Brother. He was actually expelled from the reality TV show when a video surfaced of him beating a woman with a belt. All right. And then asking, I don't know how many bruises she had, and they said it was all consensual. I mean, according to him, and I mean, he didn't really just do it just to do it. It was all consensual. They was having a good time, but he was all this BDSM with this that bondage discipline, sadism. Yeah, you know that is. So they're pretty much that role play type stuff, man, and just a little bit sadistic. But anyway, man, he was a kickboxer, and he just expressing his views like a lot of many men do. So, but according to the Daily Mail, it says one particularly shocking online rant. He argued that women must bear some responsibility, okay, if they put themselves in a position to be the R word, can you say it here? And another, he said, my sister is the property of her husband. So when you're saying these type of things, I mean, I can see it can kind of rattle a lot of people's women's feathers too, and just people in general, man, especially who knows some family members who was victim of that. And I'm not, like I said, I'm just being neutral here. I don't want people who was a fan of Andrew Tate saying, oh, you just wrong. You just saying out of context. Just going through here with the research. They said men accused of cheating by their girlfriends are advised to bang out the machete and boom in her face and grip her by the neck and I'm like, man. So I mean, I don't know, man. That's why I have to go into more of his podcast. But I mean, he was basically posting these controversial videos on the more they were manipulated by social media algorithms, and his audience, particularly teenage boys, grew exponentially. Now according, it says, with no further, they have over 12.7 billion social media views. He has more clicks than Donald Trump and Kim Kardashian on Google searches. It's crazy. Now, they said last week a 35-year-old Tate had the dubious honor of being the most high-profile person to be permanently banned from the big four social media sites. Wow. But that has barely made a dent to his online presence. Actually, some of his videos, some people saved and downloaded. He still, if you really search really hard, you can find his videos. It's really not that hard. They say Andrew Tate, man, was born in Chicago. He was the son of Emory Andrew Tate Jr., who was a U.S. Air Force sergeant who became an international chess master. Yeah, his father was a chess master, and Eileen, who was a catering assistant. His parents separated. His mother, now 61, moved with their three children to Luton, where she was raised them on her own. He was home for 3 days. Notorious crime hotspot with gang shootings, arson, attacks, regular occurrences, stands in a stark contrast to the millionaire lifestyle flaunted by her son. Miss Tate, who formerly worked at the local Roman Catholic secondary school, comes across as a veritable pillar of the community. That's good. It was in Luton, Andrew took up kickboxing. And he, over the course of his teens and his 20s, he became a 4-time world champion. In 2015, Andrew's father died suddenly at the age of 56. He made his austere appearance on Big Brother the next year. Okay, and that's when he started slowly rising to fame. I mean, kickboxing champion. Like I said, I got to give that to him, man. Him working hard. I will say this, the positivity of Andrew Tate. The positivity of Andrew Tate from the videos I was seeing is that he does he was held in accountability for teenage men. And or just men in general saying hey man, stop being lazy, get up, work, have a goal. What really kind of hit home, I would say, I give him an A+ on this. When he was on a podcast, he was talking about suicide. He's like, someone asked him what do you think about why these kids committing suicide. He was saying, listen man, he brought in a perspective and to a degree it makes sense. Your parents or whoever raised you, your guardian raised you for 18 plus years, man, and you mean feeding you, working maybe 2 or 3 jobs. You probably got to move and make sure you get educated, all because you're going through some type of trials and tribulations. Now you just want to off yourself. He was like, that's unfair, that's selfish. And he was like, pick yourself up and everything, to know that it's gonna be light at the end of the tunnel. Go to the gym, you know, like talk to that woman, or if she don't like you, who cares, man? He's like, channel that energy to something positive, and that's just something that, you know, we need as the youth. The youth, I will say, they need like someone to look up to, especially with the social media things that is going on. I'm not saying that, you know, of course, I believe their parents, they should look up to their parents though, but a lot of people, man, you know, you don't know other people's family issues and things of that nature, so they kind of like to lean on to people who already kind of achieve goals to somewhere they see that they want to be in life. Because you look at Andrew Tate, I mean, I don't know his pockets like that, but you know, he was flying like a private jet. I mean, he came from nothing really, for the most part, a little bit, and he just made himself a millionaire, man. And I mean, I can see, you know, he's kind of funny, he's very witty, and I can see why people follow him. But banning him for you know, the platforms, I mean, you even had Jack Shields, who's one of the former UFC fighters, was actually advocating for Andrew Tate, and he was saying that, hey, you know, you want to pretty much, quote unquote, ban my friend Andrew Tate, you know, and he's talking about, you know, just accountability for men to go ahead and just be successful in life, but you guys are not going to take accountability for Cardi B. And that's when they was had that feud. Cardi B was actually promoting drugs and all this stuff and sex to these young women and corrupting their minds. And I'm like, man, you know, saying, oh, I don't need to cook and clean, got a ring, just misleading them. And to an extent, he has a point. But is this really violating Andrew Tate's freedom of speech? I think so, in a way. I mean, you don't really have to follow him, but I guess because he generates so much his presence, because you got people who probably talk like this to about like Andrew Tate all the time, you know, and they not as famous as him. And so therefore, you know, the news is not going to get out like that. The videos are not going to go viral as much. But it is what it is, man. I mean, I seen a video of a teacher saying like she was crying and like, oh my goodness, like I had a young man in my class. He called a woman fat, whatever, overweight and stuff like that. I don't need to listen to you. And he was a big fan of Andrew Tate. So, I don't know if he's going to do a lawsuit or anything about this, but, man, this is the well-talked man all over the internet. So, I just want to see what you guys' thoughts on this, man. And I'm not gonna lie, when I was on TikTok, I wasn't really feeling Andrew Tate like that. I was like, man, you know, he's all everywhere. But he's a very interesting individual, man. We're just gonna see what's gonna happen. Everybody's talking about him, so I just want to give my 2 cents on this. Please be respectful in the comment section. If not, you will be blocked. I just want to know your thoughts on this. You think, you know, do you like Andrew Tate? Do you side with Andrew Tate? And I really hope that maybe one day Andrew Tate fights Jake Paul. That would be very interesting. I would actually pay $50 to see that. That's why I posted on the community pad. But that's all I really have to say. I know this video is a little bit long now, but you guys continue to like, comment, subscribe, share this video. I love you guys. I'm out. Deuces.